Hello everyone, it's Pedro Baez from Go for Glory Stable. Today is September 21st, 2025, and this is the baby video, baby update for the week. Just as a reminder, please like or subscribe to these videos as it helps the channel to grow and reach more people. And just as a reminder, Go for Glory Stable, we are a fractional ownership group for racehorses. So basically, similar for investing in real estate, stocks, crypto, things like that. There's platforms that you invest in those. Same thing here. So this is the platform for you to invest in racehorses. Yeah, mostly I always say it's a fun investment. So it's a risky investment. You know, these horses are flesh and blood animals. They're amazing animals, beautiful animals. That's why I love them. But it's risky investments. But to me, it's the most fun investment out there. You can build your own stable of horses. You can build them the way you want to build them. If you want horses for stakes racing, racing for hundreds of thousands of dollars, you can do that. If you want horses racing every week at your local track that you want to go visit them and watch them race every week, you can do that too. So it's a puzzle. I always look at it as a little puzzle. Everyone's trying to figure out how to build your stable to be the most profitable and enjoyable stables you can get. So it's really great. And then, like I said, this platform, we're bringing in the horses, and you can buy and sell horses as you wish, and you'll be constantly updated of what's going on, when they're racing, how they did, and that's pretty much the gist of it. And mainly racing in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts area. We have a few horses outside of here, but mainly in this Northeast area. And there's plenty of tracks and to visit and to go to, and plenty of races to get these horses raced. So I love it. So with that being said, let's get into the baby horses, the baby horse update for the past week. They're not really babies anymore. I mean, let me take it back. They're still babies. They're 2 years old still. Adios, my Lindy. She's going to train tomorrow at Plain Ridge. Paul's racing a few horses there, one or two horses there. So he's bringing her with him just to train over the track. It'll be her third time on the track, and that's just, you want the horses to get comfortable, because that's where she's going to be doing her stakes racing on the 29th, her first leg of the Massachusetts Sire Stakes. My guess is it'll be 2 divisions for the fillies, so like 40,000 each division. But we'll see. Maybe it's 1 division for 75,000. We don't know yet. But he's just giving her a training mile over the track, getting her used to traveling there. How it looks, the facility, everything like that. And then it's just so that you don't want especially 2-year-olds. You don't want them being spooked by the track and not being familiar with it, especially when stakes racing comes around. So the more they get familiar, the more they understand the track, where they are, how it is, where the grandstand is, the different tractors and machines coming around. They're just more comfortable once they see it a few times. So that's what he's going to do with her. And then she's ready to go on the 29th for her first leg. She's one of those horses where she's very powerful. Like there's a legitimate chance she can be the most powerful horse 2-year-old we have in the barn right now. But the issue is not really issue, but the thing is, you need the full package in this game. Meaning you gotta also, especially for trotters, you gotta trot. You gotta stay trotting. When the driver says go, you gotta go. When the driver says stop, you gotta stop. When the driver wants you to go outside, you gotta go outside. Wants to go back inside, so you gotta be drivable. There's a lot of things that go with it, and right now she's a little fired up. She's like trotting out of her skin, but even like that, she's actually doing she's very powerful. She can still do very well. So she's turned out to be really nice. It's just, as we go on, as she gets older, as time goes on, she'll kind of mature and kind of realize, like, all right, I'm a racehorse, so I gotta listen to the driver. It's not just me doing what I want to do out there, and she'll get better and better. Once she can harness all that and put the whole package together, she's a really nice filly. Walner filly, and that's typical for Walners, young Walners, especially the fillies, to be a little hot like this. Very typical, and but Walner is one of the best sires in the game, so he produces very good horses. She's a very good horse, and looking forward to her. So she's doing really well, though. We just, like I said, her thing is more mental. Like, we just got to keep our fingers crossed that mentally she keeps kind of staying with the program and listening to the driver, and not trying to go do too much. You just want her to just do what the driver tells her to do. So, but she begins on, like I said, 29th, her first leg, and we'll see how that goes. The filly division is way tougher than the colt division. Way tougher. It's like night and day. Like there's some. When we get to talk about Geologic in a minute, like the fillies, there's like some legitimate Grand Circuit horses in there that are eligible to mass. We'll see if they show up. But and there's like some high end Excelsior types that really did well in Excelsior. So it's pretty tough competition. Now, Adios Marlindi is also extremely powerful herself. It's just a matter of can she harness it and stay trotting versus really nice horses. So we'll see how it goes. I think I think she's really good. So she might. I say all this, and she might very well do very well in there. But with Massachusetts, you get these small fields, these small groups of fillies and colts and pacers and trotters. It's not a big program like New York or Ohio or New Jersey, so you don't have hundreds of horses. Like there's only like 20 horses in the fillies and 22 horses in the fillies and 20 horses in the colts that were nominated, that are eligible. There's not many. So because of that, you sometimes get a disparity, a weird setup of horses. Whereas like in this case, the fillies are crazy tough. And not crazy tough, meaning you got two killers, two bona fide Grand Circuit type killers, plus two horses that are like really at top of their game in the Excelsior and level. And then the other horses are still pretty good too. And then you get the colts, like Geologic, and his colts it's like the opposite. There's no killers at all. There's no Grand Circuit horse that you're like, wow, this horse is just going to go in there and sweep every leg and dominate. With him, it's actually, it's actually quite the opposite. It's actually very reasonable for the colts. So with that being said, let's move on to Geologic, and we'll continue on with him. He's doing great. Same thing. He's gearing up for Massachusetts on 29th, and like I said, his colts division is. There's two other horses that are, to me, the biggest players. There's Nicholson, who's with Marcus Melander in Kentucky right now. We'll see if he shifts back up here. He doesn't really do Massachusetts much, but let's just see if he does. If he does, Paul said he's not scared of him. Paul said he thinks Geologic can compete with him any day of the week. And then there's another horse for Domenico Cecere. Cecere, I think I'm saying that right. Cecchetti. He's a trainer for Lindy Farms, and they have a nice 2-year-old trotter. He's been racing in the kindergarten. So there's Mother's Money, I think is his name. So, but same thing. Paul's not really too concerned about those two. So Geologic's in a good place. He really had a big race last time out. That was a huge race, that 57-1, and then the 57-1 back half too, and the 27-3 last quarter. So he really had a coming out party of like, hey, I'm actually pretty good, very good. So Geologic he's definitely top 3 in his division. Whereas Adios, I'm kind of like, I don't know where she is. Maybe top 5 for Adios. Maybe, I'm not sure exactly. She might be top 3. I don't know. But Geologic is more of like a guaranteed top 3 in his. I don't want to say guarantee, but he's looking at the competition. He looks like should very likely be top 3, top 2, top. He's very good. He fits very well. I don't want to say top. That's too much pressure, but definitely top 3 in his division, and let's just hope for luck. The good thing about Geologic is that he can do what you want to do. You want to get off the gate, he'll get off the gate. You want to not get off the gate and come off the pace, he'll come off the pace. You want to go outside, he'll go outside. You want to retake the lead, he'll retake the lead. You want to slow down, he'll slow down. That's what you need for these racehorses. He'll do whatever you say. And then his gait is so nice. Like, he just keeps trotting. A horse can break in front of him. A horse can do some weird things in front of him. He can kind of get jammed up in front, behind the horse, and he'll keep trotting. He'll just keep trotting. So, and you ask him to go fast. You whip, you bring out the whip, or you really asking him. You're getting at him, and he keeps trotting. So, and he digs in. So he's actually turned out really, really nice. It just goes to show. Like, I actually thought we overpaid for him, but Paul really loved him. And that goes to show. Like, you don't really know. With these yearlings, you don't really know with these yearlings. You don't know. So, So yeah, he's really looking forward to him. He's those two, Adios and Geologic, really looking forward to them. And then with that being said, and we'll quickly um, let's just chat about. I'm gonna make this somewhat quick. Let's just chat about the new horses. So let's move on to 7 Seagrams. So 7 Seagrams. Let's move on to 7 Seagrams. So this is her trotting video, and her mother 711 is actually a Chapter 7 mare, and the video is a little freezing up a little bit, but let's back it up. Leather stocking. So as you can see, she looks really nice. I mean, this is how you want the yearlings to look. Everything is proportional. Nice hind. I'm not a trainer, but we're owners and we buy a lot of yearlings, so there's certain things we look for. Nice head to her. Nice wide shoulders right here. So meaning you don't want their legs and their knees to be too close to each other when they're trotting, or when they're pacing, or in her case trotting, because when they're too close to each other, then when they're getting around those turns, they might hit their knees and stuff. So you kind of want a little space. And she's really nice, fluid, easy gait to her. Her back legs are really strong. Like I said, nice rump right there. You always want to see that. And smart looking eyes. And she's actually kind of like tall. She's not a small filly at all. And I thought she was guaranteed to be like 25,000. She went for 17, so to me that was a gift. And just take a look at some of her pedigree. So she was born in April 26th, which is fine. You always want them as early as possible, like January, February, March, but April 26th is fine. Six pack. He sired the Hambletonian winner this year, Nordic Catcher, I want to say, or Dancer. I think it's Catcher, and you see her mother 711. She's a Chapter 7. She's out of Chapter 7, and then this is the rest of her family. And we've done Geologic is also out of Chapter 7 mare, and then Solar Queen is also Chapter 7. We'll get to in a bit. And Chapter 7, he's just such a good sire. I mean, he's a sire of racehorses, and he's a sire of broodmares. He's just unbelievable, that sire. He's based in New York, and he's one of the best sires in the game. Well, let me rephrase it. Not to me. He is one of the best, or the best trotting sire in the game. So, we get, even though some people are like, oh, six pack. I'm not too crazy about six pack. He won the Hambletonian. He produced a horse that won the Hambletonian, and then you got Chapter 7 in there just to kick it up a notch. So, and if you look at her family, her first family, it's 100% producing. This 24 carat, that horse actually did race. I don't think she made it to the races, but she didn't make any money. So it's hard to say whether that counts as like 100% producing or not. But she did make it to the races. I'm not sure what happened to her. But even if you look at it 4 out of 5, the mother is producing a lot of winners. Dirty Money, 200 grand, spending crazy. I'm not sure where he went. He might have gotten hurt, but he was really fast. Made 100 grand. Corner Store, who's with Paul Kelly right now, she already won in 54-2 at Plain Ridge, which is excellent. I mean, Money Man, I think, just won in 54-4 and just got his mark. Corner Store did 54-2. And then she's already been in 52 flat at Meadowlands, and she's still got Massachusetts to go to get over 100 grand. And Commissary Note, we actually looked at him, but he's a veteran. They're racing him in the fairs, but she's actually pretty good. And the veteran's it's not like a well-known sire at all. So getting the most. This is a nice family. Buzz is in there. Even Annie Hall made 100 grand. And then as you go down, you got Ambassador Hanover down here. It's just a really nice family, and it's a sneaky good family. And I wish we got in 2 years ago for Corner Store, but we are making amends for it now. So 17 grand we paid for her, and we are very happy. And she's targeted for the New Jersey program, and which is an excellent program, New Jersey Sire Stakes, New Jersey Classic. And she'll be racing also like overnights too, wherever we can race her. Saratoga, Tioga, Plain Ridge, wherever she fits best. So that's the plan, and she's on her journey. She's in Big Z. So for anyone who wants to go get her, take a look at her. All right, so here's Solar Queen. Solar Queen is the other filly we picked up on Monday at Goshen sale. She's a Metz Hall filly, Metz Hall. So she's a New York. She's a New York filly, and she's, as you can see here, she's really nice. She has amazing. She's beautiful dapples. So the little like dots you see in her skin, those are dapples. That means she's very healthy and happy, and that's a good sign for horses. And then she's just same thing as Seven Seagram. She has a really nice gait to her. Nice head to her, and Metz Hall hasn't been he's not Chapter 7 as far as a trotting sire perspective, but he did produce Metz Hall with a Chapter 7 mare, did produce Sir Pinocchio, who's a monster right now, and Metz Hall has actually done his best work with Chapter 7 mares. But yeah, if you just look at the horse herself, I mean, she's well proportioned, she's really strong, she's kind of she's muscular. That's what you want to see. So that's exactly what we're looking for. Very happy with her. And if you look at her family, I told you we got the Metz Hall up top, and then she's got the Chapter 7 dam, which is her first foal. So some people say, oh, first foal is not a good thing. A lot of people say first foal is a great thing, because first foal, you got a young mare who's having her first baby, so you're kind of getting more of a modern line of a family, and like I said, Chapter 7 has just been excellent for us as far as a broodmare sire. So we definitely had to take a chance. We paid $20,000 for her, and we were very happy. We were able to get her. She was definitely the next choice after Seven Seagrams that we wanted to leave without. And she has a good family, and we're excited to have her. She's a January foal, so she's, like I said, she's born 3 months before Seven Seagrams. So, and those 3 months in horse years, those months really make a big difference. So January means she's going to be a very old. I mean, you don't know how it's going to go. I'm saying this right now, but you don't know how it's going to go. But in theory, the way it works in theory is you want them as early, just like in school. If you have a kid who's like, you see these kids who are like, they're born in like the earlier part of the year, the cutoff. Then you have other kids who are born in the farther end of the year. And then the kids who are, the kids who are in the early part of the year have like a whole year on those kids in the other part of the year. So they're like, look all grown. They have mustaches, everything. And then you see the other for older kids I'm talking about. And then you see the younger kids, and they're all like, still really young. Or it's even more pronounced when you like pre-K and kindergarten and stuff. When you see like these big kids and you see these small kids, you're like, oh, that kid's definitely young for his grade. Same thing with the horses. So you kind of you're always kind of hoping to get as early, January, February, March as much as possible. Nothing wrong with April, May, or even early June. But you don't really want to go beyond that. But yeah, so she has a lot going for her. We're excited for her. And then let's move on to, and the last horse is Second Chapter, and basically the moral story with him is he's gonna take a break now and be brought back and get turned out and be brought back for his 3-year-old season. Paul's been trying to work hard to get him to the races this year. He had to deal with a lot. He had to deal with the curb that he had on his leg that had to get frozen. He had to deal with getting the castration. He had to deal with he was he's a growthy horse, so meaning he's a big horse, and his sister, it's crazy. Like his sister, this goes to show, like, you never know how this game goes, because his older sister, 3-year-old, she's 1 year older, and she swept the New York Sire Stakes as a 2-year-old and 3-year-old. She made like $400,000, $500,000 already. It's unbelievable, and Second Chapter looks amazing. He's a big horse. He actually was ahead of the curve. He was actually, during the winter, he was actually ahead of Geologic and Adios at one point. And but that just goes to show, like, you don't really know. The winter is so early. You don't really know how things are going to unfold. And but yeah, he just needs time away, just to do nothing, be in the field, eat grass, grow, develop, let his bones grow. The joints, ligaments, all that stuff, because that he just right now he physically he can't do what Paul's asking him to do, and if he keeps pushing him, he can get hurt. And it's kind of like, why he's such a nice horse. Why would you keep doing that? Why would you keep pushing him? And potentially the horse hurts himself because he's just not quite there yet. But Paul says he's still very high on the horse. There's no reason why this horse can't be a great horse. And Balenciaga, who's one of Paul's top horses, never made it as a 2-year-old, and it happens. It happens. That's why I always say for babies, they can't be majority of your stable because it's too risky. And even the ones you do have, I always say 60%, 65% in my mind. So like 2 out of 3. I always hope that like 2 out of 3 make it as 2-year-olds, and that's kind of what we had here. I mean, we think we had like 2 out of 4 because Tarango didn't make it. But if you can include Steal the Century, it's more like 2 out of 5. So yeah, it's about 60%, I think. Yeah, 60%. So yeah, so I mean, I always hope for about 60% make it as 2-year-olds, and that's fine. That's normal with the baby game. Last year we got lucky, like 100% made it. So it's just how the game goes. And it comes with the territory. Horse is fine. Horse is healthy. Horse is doing great. This is just normal break and bring him back, and hopefully he's more mature and ready to move forward. So anyway, with that being said, hope you have a good week. We got a lot going on. We're going to bring in more babies in Lexington and some private sales. And this is a great time of year. So hopefully you're having a little fun, and good luck with your horses. Thank you. Thank you for watching the video.